Hello, everyone. Welcome to another non-coaching interview. So today I have with me a very special guest. She is better known as Post-it Medicine on Instagram, and I've talked about her in one of my previous videos where I told that if you want to revise biochemistry, if you want to know how to revise biochemistry, or if you want to know how to revise psychiatry in 2 days, biochem in 3 days, and stuff like that, you can go and watch her watch her channel, watch her Instagram page, see her Instagram. Content, and I'm really happy and really thrilled that she got a on all India rank of 66 in the CIT. I have with me Shreya, and what's unique about Shreya is that she has cracked the code of something which everyone amongst us struggles with, and we'll try to focus the interview on that so that in your preparation towards the next 3 months towards NEET journey, this helps you. Shreya has been a through and through Marrow user. She used Marrow since her final year, and she never switched her resource, which is a great thing. But the one thing that everyone struggles with Marrow is that एंड में लोगों को लगता है कि यार शुरुआत में फाइनल ईयर के लिए प्री फाइनल ईयर के इट्स अ ग्रेट रिसोर्स यू हैव डॉक्टर रोहन यू हैव डॉक्टर साक्षी यू हैव डॉक्टर मनीषा टीचिंग यू द सब्जेक्ट्स इन द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल मैनर पॉसिबल बट एंड में रिवाइज करने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है एंड एवरीवन नोज कि यार रिविजन नहीं की तो एग्जाम नहीं निकलता but Shreya did that. And so my first question to Shreya definitely is this only. How did you revise Marrow? And would you advise Marrow right now to someone जिसके पास 6 months से prepare करने के लिए? Would you advise someone to watch the entire Marrow? And अगर किसी ने पहले देखा हुआ है और उसको भी रिवीजन में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, two different set of question, तो वो कैसे अपनी रिवीजन Marrow से यूज कर सकता है? So over to you, Shreya.
Thank you so much, sir, firstly for having me here. And I just hope that whatever, a strategy or points that I'm telling in this video, it really helps people out there. Because like this is the stuff that actually helped me get through. So, sir, coming to your first question, which is about, if I would recommend Marrow right now to someone who's preparing for March 23,
Me,
that is yeah, or INICT as well. So which is like pretty much near around the corner now. So obviously, simply you cannot do Marrow right now. Okay, the main videos are just too much, and it won't help you even if you can do the videos once. It's not going to help you because then revision ka time chala jata hai. So it's like if you want to use Marrow at all, you can actually go for the revision videos, which are actually a great, source right now for the people who have not done the videos at all. So in that way, at least till 15th December or at least till 31st December, I think everything can be covered through those videos. And after that, then I think two revisions can easily be accommodated before NEET. And before INICT again, it's a good amount of time at least. Yeah. And then
वीडियोस पे ना जाने की जगह रिवीजन वीडियोस अगर किसी को मैरो यूज करना ही है तो मेन वीडियोस
yeah,
की जगह रिवीजन वीडियोस को यूज कर लो सो दैट वुड
yeah.
बी द स्ट्रेटजी the second and the most burning question, how did you revise Maro?
So what I did is I try to finish everything the from the main videos till my internship got over. So most of the subjects I was able to cover because I had done a few in third year, sorry, final year as well. And during internship, I covered the rest, especially during postings which are a little on the lighter side. So internship के बाद, then I had around 6 months with me. So I think for the first revision, around 40 days should be more than enough because for the longer subjects, I think around 5 days I took and 5 to 7 days if it's not possible to cover. And for the shorter subjects, then I think 3 days should be more than enough. So that is how I actually distributed my time. And then the first read was actually cover to cover. So almost everything I read again, and subsequently, then I did one another revision, which was about 20 to 30 odd days. And during that time, I actually focused on the PYQ topics, like you've already told in like a lot of your videos. And that is what actually I saw, and then I tried to follow that. So the PYQ topics I did from Marrow itself. So after solving the questions, I used to make my own list, and then I used to revise that part first. So sequentially, like going from high yield to the lower yield stuff. I went that way. And during the second read, I also tried to concise the material that I had, because I knew that my last revision was going to be like really rapid. So just with that foresight कि तब करना पड़ेगा and तब I would need a lesser amount of material. So with that foresight, actually, I concised the points during the second read. And then the last 10 days revision, which is like really rapid. And to be honest, it was just a days. मतलब I could not remember कि कब एक subject खत्म हुआ, कब दूसरा शुरू हुआ, वैसे.
So I think what you basically from what I understood from this, and I think you would agree, पहली read जो है, try to अगर Marrow use करो to finish it by your internship. Now is not the time
Yeah.
the main videos. अभी करना है तो revision videos देख सकते हो. Then your first and second read, you planned it in that way, especially during your second read, because you realize कि third read तो एकदम rapid करनी है 10 दिन के अंदर मुझे.
Hmm.
Second read में you went from high yield to low yield. You basically first focused on previous year topics and previous year questions.
Yeah.
And फिर बाद में थोड़ा लो यील्ड पड़ा, एंड प्रीवियस ईयर
Yeah.
टॉपिक्स एंड प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस को यू रिवाइज ज्यादा ज्यादा फोकस किया, एंड उस पे थोड़ा सा ऊपर ऊपर से थोड़ा कर लिया. एंड देन बिकॉज
Yeah.
डूइंग द प्रीवियस ईयर टॉपिक्स यू न्यू कि अब ये चीजें ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, लास्ट 10 डेज में तूने यू रिवाइज दैट ओनली बेसिकली. लाइक
Exactly. Yeah.
amazing strategy. So basically, for anyone who has been struggling with the revising Marrow, if that's what your concern is, I think a lot of people probably would be. I think this is the most appropriate, and this would be the most wonderful strategy that Shreya has enumerated. Solve your previous year questions. They are there in Marrow itself, actually. Solve your
Yeah.
previous year questions, see your notes, and then concise your notes using those previous year questions. That would be the way
Exactly.
to go about your revision right now. And last 10 days, focus on this conciser material and revising that conciser material rather than reading the entire set of notes, because that really won't be possible actually. My second question, no, another question to you, Shreya, basically would be that like I told before, I saw, like, when you talked about micro, immuno, or biochem per se, like I always felt कि यार मैंने revise ऐसे किया था. So can you especially let's say specifically मैं biochem की बात कर लेता हूँ, immunity की बात कर लेता हूँ. These are two subjects which people do end up struggling with, and you use first aid for that. How was your experience with first aid about these subjects? And how would you tell someone कि how can they incorporate, अगर ये subjects में struggle कर रहे हैं, how can they incorporate it into their preparation? Because a lot of people will agree that first aid is a wonderful resource, especially for biochemistry, microbiology, and psychiatry
Yeah.
subjects. Everyone would agree that it's an amazing resource. So especially for revision. So can you tell how you used it, and how can people incorporate it into their revision schedule? Yeah.
So, sir, I'll be very truthful about this that I had never even touched first aid before, starting my preparation. So I knew that, starting from scratch in a new book for all subjects is not possible. So that's why I chose biochem and immunology, which actually has a path and micro overlap. So I did those two. And especially for biochem, Rebecca ma'am's lectures are amazing. But then it's also a lot of content. And for biochem, I feel that it's already volatile. And then with so much content, it's going to be even harder to remember it. So what I did was I actually watched her edition 5 revision videos.
Okay.
And I annotated first aid with the help of those notes
Revision
which she
video.
had given, yeah, in the revision videos. So I did that, and then that was the base that I had. So after that, like I said, the PYQ topics and the previous year questions, and most of it was actually related to the molecular biochemistry. Like some different questions had been asked in INI, so especially those I had to incorporate. So then after that, actually biochem became really easy to revise. So in around, I think 2 to 3 hours, it was possible to revise everything.
So yeah, I
So
think this is the beauty of first aid, especially for biochemistry and immunology. I think this is what you should, anyone who's struggling with biochemistry, and it's one of the subjects which troubles a lot of aspirants, I believe.
yeah,
Edition 5 or edition 6, watch revision videos. First aid को लो, revision videos और उसको first aid पे डाल दो. That's day one. day 2 previous year question solve करो, उसको first aid में डाल दो, and that's about it. In 2 to 3 days you probably would be able
It's done.
it's done. It's actually done in 3 days. You'll be able to do your biochemistry, and you would be able to revise it in, like, less than, like, she revised it in 3 hours. I would say that I probably did it in 4 5 hours, like similar time amount of time. And many अपने time पे I did not have revision videos. I did not have Marrow and everything. मेरे पास रेबेका जहाँ मैम्स की बुक थी.
Oh,
Fair point, right? So what I did specifically was, मैंने first aid ली थी. मैंने उसमें सिर्फ previous year question, मैम्स books has a list of previous year मतलब all the previous year question. I just saw the explanations. मतलब I started practicing them. ठीक है. The thing that I know and it's given in first aid, tuck 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 done, which is not there in first aid and listen in a previous year question. I added to it in 2 days. My biochem also was done. It's something similar to you did. You did it in a revision video format. I did it in a review book format, sort of a thing.
yeah.
So this is something. This is a strategy which anyone can use for biochemistry. They can use if they have a first aid. This is one of the things that they can use in order to do. What did you do for immunology?
Immunology, actually, I did a similar thing. I watched it from Patho, and the only thing that I found different in micro was that the different types of tests that we have, immunodiffusion and all that. So that was the only single chapter that I had to do from micro. And then after that, it was just a matter of, annotating it with the PYQs. So that was kind of a similar approach. And also, I feel like, with first aid, as many times as you go through it, it becomes faster to revise. So if I do it in 5 hours the first time, then the next time it is in 3 hours. And later on, even if you just glance through it, you kind of tend to remember the things because of the type of mnemonics that they have. So that is really beneficial as well.
So I think Shreya did something of the best of the both worlds. She did the traditional Indian Marrow, and she did the USMLE ka first aid, at least, especially for the subjects that troubled her. So that's a, like, amazing strategy, amazing, and obviously the strategy worked. That's why she's here. That's why she has gotten all in a rank 66. And uh, uh, although you have gotten a really good rank, Shreya, but do you think there was any mistake that you did during your preparation? Like, ये चीज शायद मैं better कर सकती थी, या ये चीज मेरे को शायद नहीं करनी चाहिए थी?
Um, I would say actually, on the day of the exam, I felt that my time management was somewhere lacking because, like, I completely followed Zainab ma'am's 70-70-60 rule, but then I slacked off in the second hour. I don't know whether it was just that exam pressure or something, but then I think that second hour was slow, and then to make up that time I had to be faster in the third hour, so maybe my judgment was compromised in a few questions. So that is something that definitely could have been done better. And also, about, I think, reviewing GTs in general. Uh, During the beginning of the preparation, I was not very consistent, I feel, because if I would have done that, maybe I could have analyzed them better with respect to my weaker subjects and then given them more time. Whereas in most of the schedule that I made, I utilized the same amount of time for everything. So I think it's always better to analyze your own self, and then actually, if you're weak in something, you give it more time. So those are the two things I think.
And let's say that you gave the CNI, you have gotten a good rank, and let's say you had to, like, obviously that's not the scenario, but let's say you had to prepare for NEET PG in next 3 months. How would you have prepared, or how would you advise someone to prepare for NEET PG in the next 3 months? Like, this is everyone
So
is watching these interviews because they want to get a strategy for the next 3 months कि अच्छा, आईना हमने दे दिया, हमें अपनी मिस्टेक्स का पता चल चुका है, हमें अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स का पता चल चुका है, अब इसको हम लोग कैसे यूटिलाइज करके, फॉर यू इट यू ग्रेट, यू गॉट अ टॉप 100 रैंक, बट लेट्स से यू हैड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर नीट पीजी इन नेक्स्ट 3 4 months. व्हाट वुड यू हैव डन कि, और व्हाट वुड यू एडवाइस टू एन एस्पिरेंट कि इस 3 महीने में ऐसे कर लो, probably you will get a better rank, your improve your rank basically.
so I had actually even myself started preparing because I never knew what rank I would get. So I took a 2 day break and then I started. So for me personally, I had already revised the subjects 2 times. So I was in a slightly better place. So I had planned the first read once again in 30 days. And apart from that, I had also given time to medicine, because medicine is something that I just completely skipped for INICT, because like you had always told that pre and paraclinical is more important, and on the basis of that I think 50% of the questions could be covered. So for NEET PG obviously I could not do that, so I had given time to medicine as well. So I would say if someone is actually starting afresh, then 40 days for the first read should be their target. And then after that, I think subsequently 30, 20, and 10 is the way, because there's approximately 100 days left to go. So I think it is pretty much doable. And like people should not really get discouraged by their
And I
INI rank, because it has actually given so much to learn
know
from their performance.
real life
Ki,
easy actually, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. Because I personally learned a lot from when I gave the exam in May, and I could understand कि कैसा रहता है pattern and how is the exam pressure, because that is important as well.
So let's say someone is like you told us about this thing. So I would again like to re-emphasize this. At least if someone is aiming for INI rather than NEET, INI focuses much more on first and second prof, and she did not do medicine,
Absolutely.
and she got a 66 rank, sort of proving कि medicine इतनी जरूरी नहीं है INI के लिए. So this is a mistake which a lot of people do, especially for INI. I'll say INI since past 7 or maybe even 10 years, medicine से ज्यादा कुछ पूछता है नहीं. तो अगर नीट पीजी की जगह तुम्हारा गोल आईएनआई है, तो your focus should be much more on doing first and second year than probably giving time to medicine. अगर if you're preparing for नीट पीजी, तो तुम नीट पीजी के लिए prepare करोगे, so give like she said 5 to 7 days. It's a major subject to medicine more, because NEET PG will focus much on that. Any parting thoughts, Shreya? Anything that you want to say before we end this interview?
I just want to say, sir, to everyone who's watching this video, that uh, everybody can do it. It's not just about whether you're smart during your UG days, or what kind of college you come from, whether you're uh, from a government or a private or whatever college. It's all about just being focused on the goal of where you want to be at the end of those 6 months or 8 months or 1 year, and just being persistent enough and consistent enough. Because I have been putting in about 8 to 10 hours every day for the past 6 months almost, and you can see in my result where it got me, because I got a rank of 10,042 something in May.
From 10
And
ranks to 66 ranks in just 6 months, and simply
exactly.
by giving 8 to 10 hours on a daily basis. It's consistency which matters. Consistency will
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
your motivation any day, and discipline will beat motivation any day. You just have to be disciplined enough to get to your results.
Absolutely. Like just wake up every day and think about where you want to be, and then work for it. Because everyone wants to be at a good place, but then you really have to work for it, and then nothing can really take the rank away from you. So rank will come, just keep put in the efforts is what I want to say.
Keep hustling.
Exactly.
Hustling. So thank you, thanks a lot, Shreya, and I hope people would have learned or gotten an insight on how to revise and how to use first aid if they're using that. If they're not using, then obviously whichever resource they're using, that's great also. And don't get demotivated. Be consistent in your efforts, and you'll get what you want. Right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, sir, for having me here. It's actually a very big privilege for me.
No, no, it's my honor, it's my privilege to have you here, Shreya. Like I told you before, I'll say this again. I used to always because I used to feel that you're preparing similar to me, तो मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता था, something like similar strategy, similar thing. So thank you, thanks a lot, and to everyone, thank you and have a nice day.